Hello everyone, and welcome back to On Trend CC, where I take CC from 10 creators that I think are on trend for 2024 with a view to a particular room and a particular trend. So today we are actually looking at some wallpaper and flooring, and the trend that we are going for is a minimalist, and I haven't done this one yet. It does speak to my soul a little bit. I do love minimalist, and it's going to kind of be a little bit of a Scandinavian influence, I think, for this one. And the room that we are going to be focusing on is the dining room, which we haven't done yet, so I thought that would be cool. So let's get straight into it. Harrie, this is their Octave flooring. So there's two kinds of flooring and the wallpaper as well. So that's from their Octave set. Why is this on trend? Well, good question. So minimalist style 2.0. This is what is a big trend for 2024. So we're looking at sort of Scandinavian inspired sort of tableware, classic styles with neutral warm tones, added colours with like rust red or forest green. Chairs moving more towards being upholstered. Functionality, we're looking at that. So extendable tables and storage, lighting, so like layered pendant lights. Brass is out, but silver is in. So stainless chrome pairing with silver with marble or travertine tabletops, very in for this year. Obviously, we look at sustainability. So for things like flooring in the woods, it works really well with that because we're looking at natural materials. And also sort of like statement pieces, or classic meets modern is another big trend for 2024. So looking at flooring specifically, so things like marble or wood is very in, and also patterns like the classic herringbone. Or high gloss finishes are very in as well. I felt like rather than a high gloss finish, a herringbone style flooring would actually work really well. And I saw this from Harrie and I thought, you know what, that's going to be absolutely perfect. I probably won't do this one, but I think I would probably lean towards this one because that's very on trend. The classic meets modern trend that is going throughout 2024. And I felt like this wallpaper here that we have from Harrie, it actually comes in a few little different designs, and I'll show you those in a second, but it's got like quite a neutral palette to it. I thought that's probably something we can start with for the room colours and see where we go with it. Just because it's minimalist doesn't mean neutral, by the way, so I won't necessarily do a wholly neutral room, but minimalist means, not overly cluttered. We're going to carefully curate the pieces that we're going to put in the room. So let's go through and have a wee look at the colours. For the flooring, actually got quite a nice range of the different woods there, which I really appreciate. I actually really liked the grey as well. I thought that was really nice. And then going into the darker shades through that as well. And then into your blacks. So that's the shades there. And then in the wall, so there's actually like a straight panel which I've used in the middle. And there's some end panels which I've used on each end. So there's like a left end and a right end kind of thing. There's also a plain panel, so you can have like plainer, or you can have it fully paneled like that. So I felt like that sort of fit the classic meets modern kind of vibe. So when you're looking at the walls, it's like got quite a classic sort of feel to it. And then you can mix that with the more modern pieces in the room. So in terms of the colours, there's actually quite a nice range of colours as well there. So you've got the grey and you've got a green, and it's more a blue, and it's even more blue. And then you've got your white, another grey, and going into your browns, and it's sort of like a bluey grey there, and then it's more sort of like a red based grey going into your browns. Now these kind of had like a metallic look to them, some of them as well, which I thought could actually be quite cool in a modern build or a minimalistic build. And while jewel tones are very in, I kind of feel like they don't really, I don't love that so much, work so well with a minimalist sort of vibe, but we might bring some jewel tones in and like little touches and stuff. I don't like the split, but I do like the full panel in that, just by the by, and it's the same colours in each of the things. So you've actually got some little different changes, so that looks nicer without the panel, I think. But something like that could work really nicely, sort of bringing in like the orange tones, and that could work well with like a green or something like that. So I think that could be quite cool. So that is the Octave flooring and wallpapers from the Octave set by Harrie. Okay, up next we have these gorgeous little plants, and they're from Lil Dica, from their Eco Kitchen collection. So Look, in a minimalist room, I don't see there being like a lot of plants, but I did want there to be some plants. I mean, we want to bring like a little life to their room. I mean, look at that hanging beauty. That's gorgeous. And we were talking about orange as a color that is very sort of your oranges and your greens and stuff like that for dining rooms, sort of rust red or forest green. So I sort of see that as oranges and greens. So I thought that might work nicely, and there's just some really lovely plants to choose from. I don't know how many I will use. I will maybe use 1 or 2, but at least that gives me some options when I'm creating my room. And I think they're sort of obviously bringing in that sustainability, outside in kind of vibe that is very 2024 as well. So we've got to have some sort of plants in the room, but once again, we're not going to go super cluttered. We're going to keep it minimalistic because that's the vibe we're going for. But I thought these were all really lovely. Let's take a look at the colours. So we've actually got quite a lot of different colours there in the pots, which is quite nice, but the plant remains the same. And that is the same for this here. Let's have a look at this. Does the flowers change? So the flowers, we've got 2 colours. So we've got white and orange, and the different colours in the vase. And then same again with that, and same again with that. So those are the plants that come with the Eco Kitchen collection by Lil Dica. Hokey pokey. Next we're going to be looking at some art, and if you followed my building at all, you know that I'm a big proponent of lovely art. So, I mean, the taste in art is really subjective, isn't it? I do love like an abstract style art. I think that's really pretty, and I do like pretty landscapes and things like that as well. I'm less into portraits, but yeah. Anyway, I wish there was more art in The Sims. Rant over. Now, speaking of art, this is some art from Neferu. So I've actually chosen 2 types of art. I wasn't 100% sure what direction would be best for this minimalistic room, so I thought, well, you know, it's the same creator, and it's just like 2 different art pieces that I thought we could look at. So first up we have the Reliefs series. So I'm just gonna move this to the side, and there is 3 different kinds of swatch in this. So I want to show you those 3. So it's got the silver and the bronze, which I thought would work really well, like the metallic kind of touches, which is very in for 2024 and does work really nicely with a minimalistic vibe. So yeah, those touches of metal actually, yeah, they vibe really well with a minimalistic kind of room. So we've got this style as well, and these styles here. So there are actually 3 different swatches, all sort of metallic, sort of abstract styles, which I thought could be very cool in a minimalistic room. And then let's have a look at the other version. So this abstract tree comes in 4 different swatches. So we've got this one here, and this one here. So when I looked at this, I mean, the colours really stood out to me. I thought they could work really nicely in a minimalistic room where we're looking at maybe bringing in sort of rust reds and the greens, as we were talking about. I'm not 100% that's where I'll go, but it's a possibility. And also like earthy tones, obviously those are in for 2024 because we've talked about that before. And earlier in the series that earth tones are the new neutral. So I loved that orange sort of tone, that rust red. I thought that would be really perfect if we went in that direction in the room. So I loved the colours in this, and I thought that, you know, there was lots of options in terms of tones in here, so I thought there was a lot of directions I could go with these that could work in a whole variety of rooms. So and once again, like, you know, bringing in that nature inside, so they're sort of nature inspired, being like tree bound and that sort of thing. So I thought, you know, there was a lot of good things to think about these as far as being for a 2024 inspired, you know, on trend kind of room. So those are from Neferu. So it's the relief painting and the art abstract tree painting. So they're 2 different paintings. I will put the links to both below for you guys. But yeah, both fabulous. Now we are looking at some lovely clutter in the bar. So these are made by Peacemaker IC, and it's from their Lennox kitchen and dining sets. This is the clutter and the bar. In terms of the clutter, I probably won't use all of this in the build when I do it, but I just wanted to show off all this lovely little bits of clutter that I think there's pieces that would work really well in a dining room, there's pieces that would work really well in the kitchen. Obviously then like the martini glass and the other tall tumbler, I think those will be absolutely perfect to have maybe on a sideboard or something like that. And I can see maybe like the tall piece or the jug that could work on the table perhaps, and maybe we want some plates, or there's like going to be a dining hutch or something we could create as a dining hutch as well. So I mean, clutter, as far as trends go, it's a little bit, it depends on the clutter. Like if it's practical clutter like this, then I think it's less inclined to be trend driven, but we can look at like sustainable materials. Like this is like a really nice ceramic and glass. And in terms of design and that sort of thing, we're looking at a minimalist sort of trend for 2024, Minimalist 2.0, and I feel like the simple sort of lines of these really suit a minimalist vibe. Now let's have a look at the bar. So this is the lovely bar that came with the Lennox kitchen and dining sets. So they are two different sets, so I'll link to both below, so that you can access both if you like. Yeah, I really like the color, the sort of the sustainability of wood finish I thought was really nice. The marble top is very in, so that's the whole classic meets modern aesthetic, and obviously it's got those clean simple lines that we really love in the minimalist vibe. So let's take a look at the different colors that we've got. So in terms of the clutter, all sorts of colors. So I mean, we could go wild with those colors, and that's the same for all of them. Let's have a look at the glasses. They're just one color. Okay, so but the rest all have like quite a wide little color palette there. So there's like 4 different tops that you have. So you've got the sandy color, you've got the black, you've got the gray, and you've got your white, and you've got 15 different colors on the bottom, which is amazing. I love that customization ability there. That just makes it so much easier to try and mix and match, so I think that's very cool. So that is our bar and clutter from Peacemaker IC from the Lennox Kitchen and Dining collection. So we are going to be looking now at some more clutter, because the thing with the dining room is that it can sometimes be a bit of a hybrid, kind of like between the kitchen and living. It's like that kind of in between point between the kitchen and the living, where you still might have like some kind of living things. You might have a bookcase, you might have your cookbooks in there, you might have bits and pieces. And I found these little pieces of clutter, and they're from PieriSim, from the David apartment collection, and I thought they could work really well in our living area. I did like that we had some alcohol, which I thought was really cool, because I don't really have any alcohol to work with my bar, so those were like, yeah, we can use those. And then we had like a whole collection of different books, and we've got a flattened book, we've got a nice little simple vase and boxes as well. So I thought, I don't know how much I'll use of these. I thought it'd be nice to have like some sort of like bookish kind of storage kind of options, because storage is, or sort of the multi-purpose room is actually big for 2024, so it might be more leaning towards having a dedicated dining space. So rather than having like your open flow kitchen, dining, living, we are sort of moving now more towards having that dedicated dining space, but it's more like it's a dining space, but it's more than that. It's more a communal space. So it might have things like a bar, a piano, casual seating, bookshelves. And I thought, well, you know what? Perfect. All of this clutter could be used in that regard. So I thought that was absolutely on point for 2024 as far as clutter goes. And once again, like really simple, clean lines, so that could work really well with our minimalist vibe as well. So let's take a look at the colors. So in the books, we've got a few different shades, and they're all quite calm shades, I feel. So I think those are quite nice. And then this, so there's 2 styles of books. So these taller ones and these shorter ones as well, which have a bigger palette range in all sorts of different colors. So if we wanted to bring some of those rusts and greens into the room, if that's an idea that we want to do, then that's a possibility. And then the flattened book has the same range of colors through there again. The box, a huge range of colors. That's amazing. Fantastic. So we could do all sorts of things with that if we wanted to create like a sort of organic storage kind of area that worked with our dining. We've got 3 kinds of alcohol. So 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. So this one's slightly taller. That's got the hook on the end, and that's a slightly shorter one. I don't know if you can see it from that angle, so we'll go down like that. So taller and thinner, wider and shorter, and got the little pory thing on the top. And then we have this little vase, which has like a whole range of colours as well. And that's a simple vase that I think could be quite useful for putting things in. Like you could use it like as a little bowl as well. It's quite cute. Anyway, so that is a little bit more clutter, but slightly different clutter from what we looked at from Peacemaker. So this clutter here is from PieriSim, and it's from their David apartment and collection. And I'll put that in the description below for you guys. Okay, now we are looking at a little Barcart cabinet and place setting. If you can see the little place setting there it is. So that's to go on a table. So that should be really pretty. Anyway, these come to us from SimSpaces from the Bronn Dining Collection. So what I liked about this is it kind of had like that Scandinavian kind of vibe to it. Really clean lines, beautiful little wood grains. So it's sort of got that sustainable kind of side of things, but it's also got that minimalist kind of vibe to it as well. So I thought that really ticked the box as that sort of thing goes. And we were talking about one of the trends in dining rooms is functionality. So it's things like extendable tables and storage. And I thought like the little bar cart and obviously the cabinet is for storage. I thought those could work really well. Scandinavian inspired tableware is also very in for 2024. So that's why I grabbed the little placemat as well. I thought they would be cool. So let's take a look at the colors that we get in these three pieces. So only two. So we've got the lighter wood and the darker wood. And that'll be the same in that, lighter wood, darker wood, and the same in that, except that's red. Interesting choice. Interesting. But yes, I liked these because they sort of had that minimalist, sort of Scandinavian kind of vibe, and it was cool to have like a different little placemat that we could possibly use as well. So those are from SimSpaces from the Bronn Dining Collection. Righto, now we have, I fell in love with these. Honestly, I saw these and I just went, I love these. It's just one of those things where you spy something and you're just like in love instantly. Felt like this little set was going to fit our minimalist vibe room so nicely. So these are by SIMcredible and it's from their Celestia Dining Collection. So it's the mirror, it's a chair, a sideboard, and a bar chair. So that bar chair is actually going to work in with the bar that we got from Peacemaker. So we're going to work those two together. Sideboard, amazing. And the chair, we might work that as a dining chair or just as a separate armchair in the room. We'll see how that goes. Why did I think this was on trend for 2024? Okay, so we're going to be looking at metals. So bringing in metals into the room. Silver is more in than the brass, so we'll see what the colors look like. Metal is definitely still in. When we're talking about decor, we're looking at eclectic decor for 2024. So it's unique, authentic, eye-catching, striking statement pieces. So things like irregular rugs or decor with eye-catching designs. And hello, does that mirror just really catch your eye or what? So yeah, so sinuous, organically shaped storage or furniture is very in, and you just want to add visual intrigue and sort of like a harmonious flow to your room. So this just, I could like build a whole room in all of this collection. It was so good. But anyway, I picked bits and pieces of it all. Yeah, I think this will work really nicely with the room as a whole. So let's take a look at our colors and see how we go. Look at that. Ooh, I haven't looked at these colors yet, so this is very cool. Ooh, and the greens. Okay, so we're going to have like mixed metals in our dining room, but that's cool. So we've got, ooh, very cool. Okay, and then in the mirror, so we do have a silver, which is amazing, and a black. Wow. And then the same colors again in our bar stool. So what a fabulous little range of colors. I think that's going to work so nicely. Like I can see these and also working really well in a maximalist style room because they could be quite bold because they are very much the statement pieces. I did want to have like a few statement pieces in the room and I felt like these really stood out as statement pieces. I can see these because they've got like really nice clean lines and they've got those little touches of metal. I thought they would really suit a minimalist room as well. So I think they could actually be quite flexible as far as putting in rooms and designing with this particular set. So this is from SIMcredible from their Celestia Dining Collection. All right, guys, now we are going quite Scandinavian. So that really light wood, clean lines, a really interesting aesthetic. So this is from Sim's house from their Freya Dining collection. So it's a table and chairs and a little console table as well. So I think if you're looking at these, you probably are seeing like a minimalistic vibe, right? I loved those little dining chairs. I love the shape on them. And one sort of mini trend for 2024 when it comes to dining rooms is mixing and matching your styles, or having like really unique shapes in your chairs. So going quite eclectic. We were talking about eclectic as being a big trend for 2024, and that sort of comes into it with dining chairs as well. So having like a really interesting shape and quite a unique design. And we were talking about upholstered as well, so having upholstery on your dining chairs is very in, rather than having sort of like your plain sort of wooden chairs. And then that's the lovely little console table that comes in the same design. I love the wood grain on that. It's like, it's got quite an authentic feel to it, which I really love. And obviously it has got that sort of almost like upcycled or recycled, repurposed kind of look to it, which I think is very in for 2024. Obviously we've been talking about sustainability quite a lot. So yeah, I think that works within that sort of trend as well. Yeah, so I'm going to be mixing and matching. I'm not too sure which chairs I'm going to end up using, so that's going to be interesting. And another sort of mini trend in dining rooms at the moment is to actually have banquet seating, or like a bench seating with this as well. So I would probably look at what we have in game for that. I couldn't find like a bench that I really liked that I thought would work. So yeah, we'll see what we come up with for that. That is there's a couple of little trends when it comes to the chairs with dining this year, which I think is really interesting. So let's take a wee look at the colours. Ooh, so we've got some really nice bold colours there. So we were talking about green as part of our aesthetic for this year in the dining, and yeah, so we've got actually quite a few little green options, which I think is quite cool. We've got darker, light and white, so yeah, a few different options there in the colours, which I think will be quite interesting to have a play around with. So that set is from Sim's house from the Freya Dining collection. Now we are looking at lights. So, I mean, lighting is I think that lighting can be quite a feature when it comes to a dining room, because you have your dining room table and then you'll have like your feature light over the top. So you could go probably a couple of different directions when it comes to what's in for 2024. So you could go more for your classic meets modern, which is going for oversized and artistic chandeliers, and it's blending sort of modern lighting with the classic style. So you could go in that direction, and I did consider that direction, but because we are going minimalistic, I went with the other lighting trend, which is a layered pendant light. So we talked about this a little bit in the episode where we looked at bedrooms and we did the maximalist bedroom. And one of the trends in the bedrooms was also having like layered pendant lighting over the top of your end table instead of using lamps. And it's basically the similar sort of thing above your dining table, having the layered pendant lighting. And I thought these lights were absolutely fabulous. I saw these and I loved them when I saw them. They very much remind me of the most perfect lights in the Sims 4 game from Growing Together. I love those wall lights. They are amazing. And these are basically, I think, a riff on those wall lights from Growing Together, and I think they're absolutely gorgeous. So there's like some different heights, and there's like ones with two, and there's ones with like a single hanging down as well. So there are like plenty of options as far as what direction I go with, or how many I want to have. Like if I want to have like maybe a mixture of the pendant lights hanging down, I think that would be cool. Plus, when we're talking about minimalistic, we're talking about metal touches, and ta-da! Obviously we've got the metal touches there. So let's take a wee look at the colours. So we've got the white, the silver, which could work really nicely, the gold, the brass, the blacks. So we've got those 6 colours there, which I think is really cool in the metals, and I think those are going to work really nicely with a minimalistic vibe dining room, so I'm excited to use those. So those are from Tuds from their Cave collection. I don't think I actually said that at the start, so Tuds in the Cave collection. And last but certainly not least, we have a rug. And I'm going to show you the rest of the designs in this rug very shortly. But this rug is the Dining Mila Rug Round by Ung999. So I thought we needed like a really cool, authentic, sort of eye-catching, striking kind of rug that would be quite funky in the room. Maybe just to break up some of the clean lines and that sort of thing. And I thought this could be really cool, that had some really cool abstract designs on it that I thought could work really nicely with a minimalist vibe room. I was quite keen on this, so it sort of fit a little bit within the eclectic decor, and certainly I think tonally and that sort of thing, it will work really nicely with a minimalist. Let's have a look at the different designs. So there is 6 different designs in total, and I thought this gives me like plenty of options as far as colors and tones as to which rug I wanted to go with. Maybe I go with like 2 rugs, maybe I go with 3 rugs. I mean, it's hard to know. But also it kind of had like that sort of that rusty red sort of orangey color a little bit through it as well. So I thought if we go that direction, that could work really nicely with that. And yeah, I do love the abstract shapes to this as well, so I thought those were really cool. So that is the Dining Mila Rug Round from Ung999. Okay, everyone, well, that wraps up our episode. So, oh, look at all that beautiful CC. Isn't it amazing? So we've looked at some fabulous pieces for a dining room. I'm sure I'm going to have a lot of fun putting this together into a dining room. I think there's some amazing stuff here. I'm just in love. This is very much my vibe, that sort of Scandinavian, simple, minimalistic. Although I do like, to obviously liven things up with a little bit of clutter. So, this is very much my vibe. I do love it. I'm not like a hardcore minimalist person or anything like that. Minimalist with a little bit extra simplicity. Simplicity can be lovely. So I think there's some fabulous stuff here, and I look forward to building a room with this in the next episode of On Trends Rooms. And thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate it. I hope you guys enjoyed it. As always, I will put links to the creators or the place that I downloaded them in the description below. So if you are interested in any of the CC, it is all free. So I don't have any paywall items there. So yeah, you should be able to download it for yourself and add it to your game. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye bye.